Hello, students. We are going to show you how to do the Collisions Lab, and I'm going to have two screens open for you guys so that you'll be able to follow along with the lab sheet as well as with the Phet. So I have Phet open over here, and then I have the actual lab here. All right, so what we're going to be doing is that we're going to use this lab to help us to get a better understanding of collisions and what we mean by conservation of momentum. So just as to kind of review what we're talking about, we're looking at, here we have our equations here, but we're looking at the total momentum initially should equal to the total momentum final. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, momentum is simply the mass times velocity, and we're just going to assume we have two objects that are interacting. So we have object A and object B. So this is the momentum of the object of object A initially plus the momentum of object B initially. So these are the momentums of the system of things that are interacting. So the total momentum must be conserved. So that means MA, VA initial plus MB times VB initial. These are multiplied together. And you don't see on here, but the velocity, well, let me start back up here. The momentum is a vector quantity. In other words, momentum has a direction. It has a magnitude and direction. So you don't see the little arrows above here. They're kind of bold here to indicate that they're vector quantities. But keep in mind that velocity, we know that mass doesn't have a direction, but the velocities do, you guys. So if the velocity of the object, if the object is moving to the right, the velocities will get a positive number. If the velocities are moving to the left, it will get a negative number. So make sure you are taking into account the direction of the velocity. Okay, so we have the total momentum of the objects before they interact, and then that must equal to the total momentum after they interact. Okay, this particular equation that you're seeing here, this is for what we call an elastic collision. So they move separately initially. After they hit each other, then they have separate velocities afterwards. So they move separately off. So this would be an example of two pool balls. Okay, if you're playing pool, you know, they may be moving before they hit together, and then they're going to move separately after they interact. Okay, so this is for an elastic, a perfectly elastic collision. An inelastic collision would be they would start separately and then they would actually be combined together. So the inelastic equation looks a little bit different. And let me just do that here just so you'll see. Okay, this won't be changed in the lab, on your lab sheet, but let me just show you what it looks like. So this would be like a car crash. Two cars are separate, moving initially. And then when they hit together, they stick together and move off together with the same velocity. So I'll just change that to VB. Okay, so this would be for an inelastic collision. So they lump together and move together. Okay, but the equation you have in the lab write-up is this one. Okay, all right, so I just wanted to distinguish that for you guys. All right. So here we go. I'm going to kind of decrease this. So the instructions say to go to the Phet website, and we're just going to scroll down and find the Collision Lab. So I'm going to do a search, and I'm just going to type in the word collision. Should only be one. There we go. Collision Lab. Let me slide this over a little bit so y'all can see. All right, so this is the one you need to open. So I'm going to go ahead and get that open for you. Okay, allow. Okay, all right, so this should be the initial screen you see. So let me just explain a little bit what we have here. So we have introduction. This is the one that we will be working on. We're not going to do the advanced. That would be 2D collisions. Okay. But we have control over a lot of things, guys. We have control over the mass of the object. We can type that in, or we can use this slider to make things bigger or smaller. We also have the same control over the second mass. We also have control. I'm going to click on more data. We also have control over what the initial velocities could be. Okay, so you see this one, we have a mass of 0.5. It's 1 meter away. It's a position of 1 meter away. And then we have the velocity initially. And you see it's positive, so it's pointing to the right. Because look over here at this little green legend here, we can turn on certain things. Okay, and I'll talk about all these in just a second. But we're just going to have the velocity vectors on. And just so you'll see, if I had a negative sign, you see how it changed the direction of the velocity vector. Okay, and you see initially this object has an initial momentum of, remember, momentum is m times v. So the mass is 0.5. The velocity is -1. So it has an initial momentum just for object 1 of -0.5. And for object 2, you see it's a little bit bigger, so you see how it's drawn bigger. And then the position of 2 meters, okay. I think that's, the 0 should be over here. And then this is 1 meter and then 2 meters, okay. But you see the initial momentum, so it has a mass, but look guys, it has no initial velocity. So its initial momentum is 0. And let me change this back to 1. So just so you'll see what happens. So if I play this and I have a simulation speed of kind of medium, but what's going to happen? And we have this set. Oh, let me go over here. Elasticity. So we are going to have a perfectly elastic collision. So that means they're going to like bounce off of each other. Okay. So let me play this. Okay, see what happened. Okay, so let me restart that so you'll see. Perfectly elastic. Okay, so they're going to bounce off each other. Boom, they move. And so don't really worry about the position, guys. We're going to really be looking at what's happening to the velocity after they interact. Okay, all right, so let's reset this. And I'm going to change this to a perfectly inelastic. Keep going. There we go. Inelastic. So what's going to happen? They're going to stick together. So let's play that so you'll see. Boom. Look what happened. So when they stuck together, their combined velocities, you see in the chart here, will be the same because they're moving off together with the same velocity. All right. So hopefully that explains about the velocity and the inelastic and elastic. So I want to cut on for you guys this thing called center of mass. Now, let me just change some things here. I'm going to give them the same mass. Okay. And I think, yeah, the same mass. And the center of mass here is this yellow X. So you guys did some work on the center of mass, but it's essentially where not just the center of the objects is, but where could I essentially put my finger to have equal mass on either side of where my finger would be. Okay, so if I used the distance away from the dot as like the lever arm, and I could adjust that center of mass to be where it would have a perfect mass balance. So let's see what we're talking about here. So let me make mass 1 bigger, twice as big. Okay, you see how that shifted the center of mass over here. So if I had something heavy, imagine this were a long, heavy bar, and it was more heavy over on the side where mass 1 was and lighter on the end where mass 2 is. Well, if I wanted to balance my finger right here where that yellow X is, then I could balance the bar because I have heavier mass over here, but since I have the lighter mass on this end, the bar, the heavy to light bar, will be balanced on this finger. Okay, so that's something I'm asking you to record in your lab. So I wanted to kind of go over kind of how this lab works. Now I'm going to switch over here to help us understand what we're asking for in the questions. Okay. All right. So if we have, oh, you see how I have turn on the center of mass in the instructions there because you're going to need that. All right. So for perfectly elastic collision, investigate the action of the more massive attacking object striking the less massive target object. So what do you think will happen if we made those two things interact? A heavy object hitting a light object. What do you think will happen to them when they hit together? Would one move faster, one move slower? What do you think? Okay. What happens to the less massive object? So we kind of looked at that a little bit already, but place your answers here. And then it's asking kind of the opposite question. If we had a less massive object attacking or hitting a more massive object. Okay, so what do you think will happen there? So put those answers there. All right, so here we have our scenarios, all right? So I think that's it, energy. Okay, I have energy for here, yeah. So for scenario 1, we have object 1. We're asking you to set that to 1.2 kilograms. The initial velocity of 1.5, and you can just type those in, all right? And then mass 2 has the same mass, but a velocity going in a different direction. You see the negative sign, you can just type that in. So you're going to set these up, then you're going to play, okay, you're going to play that scenario, and is asking you to write down what is the initial momentum, see P initial for object 1, P final for object 1. And you'll, of course, get that right here on the simulation side. Okay. All right. And let me just play this so you'll see that you'll get the information. Okay. You can always pause it. So you can get your initial momentums and then your final momentums and record them here. And so I also ask you to do this kinetic energy. This is very important. Okay. So I am asking you, see, I cut on the kinetic energy here. I'm asking you to write down the initial kinetic energy for the first object, the total kinetic energy initial, and the total kinetic energy final. So I wonder if those will be the same. Let me restart. Okay, so you can do that with the energies. Okay, so that's the inelastic situation. Let me change that to elastic, which is what this case is. Sorry, guys, I should have had the had it being a totally elastic collision, which is our first case. Okay, so record the kinetic energy, and that number is right here. Okay, at the top. So you have your velocities to look at, your momentums, and your kinetic energy. Okay. So does the conservation of energy occur for this one? And this will tell you what's happening with the kinetic energy. What about conservation of momentum? Conservation says, will the total momentum initially be equal to the total initial final? Okay, so you have your initial momentums for object 1 and object 2. So you add those two together, see what it is. Total momentum after, add these two numbers together, see what it is, and you will be able to answer this question. Will those be the same number? Okay. What about the energy? Is the total kinetic energy here same as the final for elastic collisions? Okay. All right, so we're just about done. Just wanted to make sure you're clear about what to do. So just in this box, I'm asking you to draw this initial picture, okay, for first scenario. So both of these for scenario 1, they have the same mass. What was it? 1.2. So 1.2, 1.2, 1.2. Okay, so you're just going to draw 2 circles here for mass 1 and mass 2 and put an X where the center of mass is. In this case, oh, okay, same mass, so it definitely should be perfectly in the middle. So that's all I'm asking you to do. Draw your 2 masses, pretty much to scale, and, put that yellow X there. And that makes sense, right? Same mass, center of mass should be perfectly in the middle. So scenario 2 asks you to change the masses, okay? So you'll enter these, all right? Give mass 1 this velocity and do the same type of analysis after. Is the energy conserved? What about the momentum? Okay. Scenario 3, okay. So this one is pretty interesting. The total initial momentum for the collision below is 11.5. So what should the initial velocity of mass 1 be to make that happen? Okay, so that's what it's asking you to do here, to figure out what that should be. Okay, so same things here, show your work and show your before and before pictures. Okay, since these masses are different, all right? Okay, scenario 4, I'm just asking you to create your own little scenario and just be creative, right? And answer the same questions. All right, now on to perfectly inelastic collision, right? So make sure over here you set that inelastic collision all the way down to the end right there, okay? And you follow the same kind of analysis here, but keep in mind, right, they're going to stick together afterwards. So please make sure you fill out what's happening here, total, initial kinetic energy, and final. All right, do those 2 cases and then answer this question. Now, pretty much I have seen, I think, note that these are very important questions, and I have basically seen these types of questions about conservation of energy for inelastic and elastic collisions versus the momentum being conserved. So what do you see is going to be happening here as you do these 2 different cases? So hopefully that explains how to use the Phet and also the explanation of the lab. Let me know if you have any questions, okay? All right, thank you very much.